it comes to TV, give me what I want to see. Give me Fox.
Tonight's episode of This Week on Dirt is brought to you by Colton RV and by Plazek Auto Recyclers.
My green flag is down. They punch those accelerators. Well, 3 cars aren't hurt. Arm down, arm down. We've got a new leader coming out of turn number 4.
A 358 regular stuns the field at Super Dirt Week as we get set for the Stroll Racing Super Dirt Series. Katie bar the doors. Guess who's coming to town? And we learn the winner's decision from the Lebanon Valley fiasco. So start your engines. It's This Week on Dirt.
Now, This Week on Dirt, coming straight at you.
Hello once again, everybody. Welcome to This Week on Dirt. My name is Doug Logan. I've got to tell you, for the first time in the history of dirt motorsports, the racing at all dirt-sanctioned tracks was washed out by rain this past weekend. Today for the action at Associate Track Tri-City. But we have a great show for you as we pull out all the stops, starting with an incredible Cinderella ride for a Middletown 358 regular. The venue, Super Dirt Week 95, and the event, the Phase 100 for 358 Modifieds at the New York State Fairgrounds. It's our main event. Here's Paul Small.
With gray skies overhead, the 3 Modified rolled away for the start of the Wheels, Gabriel Shocks, and Struts 200 last October in Syracuse with several big block drivers in the starting field. Time trials were washed out by rain, so the field was lined up according to the point standings for the Mr. Dirt 358 Modified title chase. A record 58 green flag 125-lap event, and the open lap resembled the Oklahoma Land Rush. Attrition took its toll on several top contenders early. Joe Plazek tagged the wall in turn 2 in the Canadian car number 1, knocking him out of the race. Defending wheel champion Jimmy Horton suffered a in his Duchess car number 87, and the defending Wheels 200 winner Danny succumbed to a blown engine. Mr. Dirt 358 Modified point leader Steve Payne in the yellow and white Nice and Easy 7X led the first 27 laps of the event by a comfortable margin over 3-time Mr. Dirt 358 Pat O'Brien in the white 6 car and the green 2 of Jimmy Hauser. There is a mandatory pit stop in this race, and Pat O'Brien, second in the Mr. Dirt 358 points, decided to roll the dice and come in under green for a gas-only pit stop. As the rest of the teams charged by down the front stretch, O'Brien made his way onto pit road. O'Brien's gas-and-go stop was successful. He was gambling it would better his track position, and that gamble paid off when a few laps later, defending champion Sparkplug Nationals winner Billy Pouch tagged the wall. That brought everybody else onto pit road. All the major players in the race would come in and make gas-only pit stops, including the Hurricane Steve Payne, Buzzy Ruderman driving the Sonny's Farm Market 00, and the potent Auto Palace car number 1 of Brett Hearn, himself a former winner of this race. When the field lined back up for the restart, O'Brien found himself several cars ahead of the other contenders as the green flag flew once again over the Moody Mile. All the teams had made the pit stops that were necessary to carry them the distance. The rest was a battle to get to the front. And surprisingly, several of the top contenders did not make it there, including Billy Decker in the Wheels 91, Hearn in the 1 car, and Alan Johnson in the red and white 21. Ironically enough, Brett Hearn's brother, Bobby Hearn, had built the Tio chassis car that Jimmy Hauser was driving and was coaching him on the radio during the race.
Come on, Jimmy, you're the fastest car out there. Got it going. Let it drift up. Let it drift up out of the corners.
Hauser listened and executed beautifully, catching Pat O'Brien with a slower car and diving to the inside in turn 3 on lap 82 to take the lead. He was followed by the crafty veteran Payne, who scored 22 big block victories on dirt last year and has logged many, many laps on the track they call the Moody Mile. It appeared that O'Brien's gamble had backfired. Buzzy Ruderman in the famed blue and white 00 retired in 1985 after a severe crash at the mile, but came back just 3 years ago. Buzzy had put a great run together and was charging through the field when he ran out of fuel with just 1 lap to go. While Buzzy suffered misfortune, Steve Payne had reeled in Jimmy Hauser.
7 cars out hurt. Go get him. Go get him.
While Jimmy Hauser's team was hopeful in the efforts of their young chauffeur, Steve Payne's crew held quiet confidence.
Track came back or the sun came out, but the car's getting better right now the whole time.
Now, this is the biggest thing to me and Jimmy. We want to win so bad, and if we win here, it'd be like winning a childhood dream. We're racing against the guys we watched growing up as kids when my dad used to take us to the Orange County Fair Speedway. And now we're beating them.
Hauser responded, running the race of his life.
10 lead, 10 lead. White flag is out. This is your race. 10 lead.
A true small block campaigner pulled the biggest upset in Super Dirt Week history. Jimmy Hauser won the Wheels Gabriel Shots and Stretch 200 and collected over $20,000.
Up front. I'm just so happy for these guys. They work so hard doing what they do. This is great.
Here's to all my crew and guys. We love you. I'd like to say hi to everybody back at home. You know, we're all here. I wish everybody could be here today. My family, and my grandmother. Hi, Grandma.
It was the biggest win of Hauser's young career over Steve Payne, Brett Hearn, Jeff Hetzler, and Alan Johnson. Adam Ryan took home a 22nd place finish.
This year, the 358 event at Super Dirt Week will be known as the Champion Spark Plugs 100. Now, coming up, I'll have the news, but first, here's our A-plus racing quiz.
Who is the winningest 358 modified driver of all time on the dirt circuit?
Wow.
Doug Carlisle.
I believe it would be Alan Johnson.
That would probably have to be probably Brett Hearn.
Is it really?
Brett has nearly 100 small block wins in his career.
Who has the most Mr. Dirt 358 titles?
Mr. Dirt 358 titles?
Pat O'Brien.
Pipe Pete McNell.
Patty O'Brien.
Pat O'Brien has 3 Mr. Dirt championships.
Who was the 1994 Score Racing 358 Super Dirt Series champion?
Kenny Tremont.
Kenny Tremont.
Kenny Tremont was last year's Skull Racing 358 champion.
Here's the battle for 4 once again. 2 laps to go.
This Week on Dirt is brought to you by Sunoco A-Plus Mini Markets, Faze Drugstores, Champion Spark Plugs, Racing Electronics, Professional Race Team Communications, Brioski, the official antacid of dirt, Bob Hilbert Sportswear, and by the Dirt Motorsports Hall of Fame and Classic Car Museum.
A-Plus Mini Market, your 24-hour ticket to convenience.
Now, every 10-ounce, every 16-ounce, and every 20-ounce cup of Colombian coffee is just 69 cents at participating A-Plus and A-Plus Express stores, where one price fits all.
Over 3,000 items. A-Plus Mini Market, 24-hour convenience. Your store, plus more.
If you're filling your prescription worrying about what you should take with what and when you should take it and how it will affect you, maybe you're going to the wrong place. So break out of there and come to Faze Drugs, where the pharmacy is our business. Our pharmacists are always there to answer questions on dosage, drug interaction, insurance, and more. And AccuFax lets you keep the Faze pharmacist advice at your side night or day. It's a major breakthrough in making prescriptions easy.
MERRITTVILLE Speedway means live dirt modified action. The Niagara region rumbles with dirt track and thunder every Saturday night at MERRITTVILLE Speedway. It's non-stop dirt track and action as Canada's best battle America's top dirt superstars. Monday, it's a special event, a Victoria Day extravaganza with a full card and a gigantic fireworks display.
Let's face it, cars and trucks don't last forever. And to win environmentally, you just can't junk this stuff anymore. There is a better way. Classic Auto Recyclers. Each vehicle is dismantled and thousands of parts are reconditioned for wholesale and retail redistribution. Connected by a worldwide computer web, Plazik has it or they can get it. Recovery, pickup, and delivery almost as fast as the Canadian #1. Racing, recycling, responsible. Plazik Auto Recyclers.
This Week on Dirt continues. Now, Doug Logan with the news.
In the news this week, the Wheels 300, the world's richest dirt modified race at Super Dirt Week, will now be known as the Phase 300. Phase Incorporated, a retail drugstore chain in the Northeast with corporate headquarters located in Syracuse, picked up the remainder of the big block race sponsorship contract. Last year's sponsor, Wheels, a subsidiary of Phase, was sold to Western Auto Parts America. The 188-lap, 300-kilometer Phase 300 will be run Sunday, October 13th. MBNA, America Bank, and Dirt Motorsports have teamed up for a custom-created Dirt Motorsports MasterCard. There's no annual fee and a special low introductory annual percentage rate on cash advances and balance transfers. Show your dirt pride every time you use it. For more information on the Dirt Motorsports MasterCard, call MBNA at 1-800-847-7378 and use the key code FIN2. With the Skull Racing Super Dirt Series for 1996 just around the corner, there are a number of contingency sponsors on board this year. Companies providing valuable driver point fund contingency dollars are Carrera Shocks, Wilwood Engineering, Weld Wheels, Kwik-Change Relief Valves, Troyer Engineering, Bert Transmission, Fuel Safe Race Cells, Mechanix Wear, and Race Safe Systems. The total contingency sponsorship fund thus far this year is nearly $50,000. A few weeks ago, we told the Ford R&D motor program for Dirt 358 Modifieds. With only a couple of weeks to go, work continues on the new Bic for Alan Johnson, housing a Ford grassroots R&D V8. Morrison was selected by Ford to act as builder and between Detroit and the race. AJ and crew bring the midnight oil as the Super Dirt Series 58 Modifieds kicks off at Orange County Fair Speedway Wednesday, May 22nd. Believes in giving the community. That's why their expanding efforts include donations to good days and special times for children and families. The first of many checks was the Camp Good Days by John Marketer for Parts Plus. In 3 weeks, the World of Outlaws will begin their annual New Year's Super Swing. The points are extremely tight, led by the Kinzers, Mark and Steve. Here's Paul Small.
The family feud between perennial outlaw king Kinzer and his cousin Mark continued unabated since this incident at Orange County Fair Speedway last year. Only 30 points separate Mark from Steve, followed by Blaney, Jeff Swindell, and Andy Hillenberg. And Slammin' Sammy Swindell is currently 9th. Last year's New York swing for the Outlaws featured plenty of action. The Wild Child lived up to his name, and even the King danced on his head. But this is usually where Steve makes his move in the points. He has 30 victories in New York State. You'll see Steve and the rest of the Outlaws June 2nd at Orange County, June 3rd at Lebanon Valley, followed by Rolling Wheels on June 4th, June 5th at Canandaigua, and the tour wraps up June 6th at Ransomville.
In 1992, the Sunoco 200 at Rolling Wheels was the last race of the season at the fast track. It was also a race for the championship title, which could only be described as a log jam with so many competitors within reach. With championship points so close, it would be a very memorable race. And it's this week's Dirt Flashback.
The Jumpin' Jacks 200, part of the Sunoco Championship Series, traditionally closes the points season at Rolling Wheels. Barefoot Bob McCready and Jumpin' Jack Johnson would be the combatants for the track championship. The pressure was on McCready. He had to win to force Jack to finish 7th or better to lock up the championship. Routine pit stops would bring the field in on lap 38 of 200.
When racing resumed, McCready stepped up to the challenge, knowing he had to win. He passed the doctor on lap 80 for the lead. An unscheduled pit stop brought Jack in. His championship hopes looked dim. But with little time to work with, Jack put the hammer down. Within 30 laps, he came from 27th to 4th, and McCready's crew knew they had won the race, but lost the title. In all his years of racing, this was Jack's first track championship at Rolling Wheels.
Coming up, a look ahead at the Skull Racing Super Dirt Series for 358 Modifieds.
Keep it parked. Then we'll put it back in gear right after this.
Direct to you, the sale of the century. At Colton Auto and RV, get the right deal right now. Over 150 new and used motorhomes, conversion vans, fifth wheels, and travel trailers priced at rock bottom. Brand new motorhomes with roof air, awning, and microwave, only $29,995. New 21-foot well-equipped travel trailers, just $99.95. Direct to you, over 150 incredible values. Colton Auto and RV, Western New York's largest full-service van and RV center.
Let's face it, cars and trucks don't last forever. And to win environmentally, you just can't junk this stuff anymore. There is a better way. Classic Auto Recyclers. Each vehicle is dismantled and thousands of parts are reconditioned for wholesale and retail redistribution. Connected by a worldwide computer web, Plastiq has it or they can get it. Recovery, pickup, and delivery almost as fast as the Canadian #1. Racing, recycling, responsible. Plastiq Auto Recyclers.
MERRITTVILLE Speedway means live dirt modified action. The Niagara region rumbles with dirt track and thunder every Saturday night at MERRITTVILLE Speedway. It's non-stop dirt track in action as Canada's best battle America's top dirt superstars. Monday, it's a special event, a Victoria Day extravaganza with a full guard and a gigantic fireworks display.
On the next episode of Seinfeld.
Having a secretary is incredible. I don't know why I didn't have.
Because you didn't have a job? I saw you the other night stepping out with my houndstooth jacket.
Jerry, that's a breach of the dry cleaners code. You need a code to tell you not to wear people's clothes?
No. A better way to reach the bra would be to undo the jacket, then go around the back of the shirt.
Monday at 10 on Fox 29.
Hi, I'm Robin Smoker, and coming up next, Fast Forward. Find out why Kenny Brightville and I are cruising the mall and not the racetrack.
Well, it's nice that they put up all the pictures from the fairgrounds days, but I think it's more fairgrounds and all the people that come here, and we just happened to be a part of it at the time. We ended up winning 135 races to close the racetrack, so I got a lot of memories here, and actually I'd rather have the racetrack back, but Boscov's was here when the track was here, but it's the rest of the mall that they brought in when they closed the place.
Country music, Lawrence was right when he said everything changes. Kenny Brightville talks about change on Fast Forward with Robin, brought to you by Bob Hilbert Sportswear.
While the 358 Modifieds may be a little bit smaller in cubic inches than the believe me, there is no reduction in talent. You'll see what I mean. I'll give you the Skull Racing Dirt Series for 358 Modifieds.
12 races encompass the 1995 Skull Racing Super Dirt Series for 358 Modifieds. Early on, Brett Hearn went to beat, making his way to victory lane in 4 of the first 5 races. Tim Fuller, Danny Johnson, and the Hurricane Steve Payne would all win events on the trail, but the silent gun in the field was Alan Johnson in the Doherty Brothers 21J, winning 2 of 12 events and finishing in the top 5 8 times. He dominated the 358 Skull Series and earned his first ever 358 Skull Racing Super Dirt Series championship. But 'tis a new season, and as the tracks get ready, here's the 96 schedule. It starts May 22nd at Orange County, followed by the Tuesday, June 25th date at Accord. The month of July kicks off on the 4th at Brockville, Ontario Speedway, with races at Brewerton on the 23rd and Can-Am the 30th. Thursday, August 1st, live television for the series at Fonda, followed by the Niagara Frontier Swing at MERRITTVILLE and Ransomville, August 5th and 6th. August 13th at Edelweiss, August 20th at Frogtown, August 27th at the Black Rock Speedway, and the series concludes during the Parts Plus World Series weekend at the Rolling Wheels Raceway on September the 21st. Look for defending Skull Series champ Alan Johnson to possibly repeat. AJ Slideways is stronger than ever. He brings along a new racing team, Trout, and a new motor program with Detroit Ford Power under the hood of the 14J this year. Ford also powers the Reclamation 33, driven by Jeff Hetchler. Jeff aboard this potent Carrera chassis has a lot of experience on all sorts of racetracks the last couple of years on the Skull Big Block Series, and he could definitely put his mark on the trail this year. Hurricane force winds will be in effect. Steve Payne aboard his Bicknell chassis had many consistent finishes last year. A big win at the end of the series could nab him the title. Auto Palace will once again back the Jet Brett Hearn. He's a definite threat to be the champion if he follows the entire trail. 95 title holder Kenny Tremont is back with the Doherty Brothers team, the car that's won the last 3 championships. Last year's Skull 358 runner-up and defending Mr. Dirt 358 champion Pat O'Brien has all the tools to equal his great 95 campaign. And two-time Mr. Dirt 358 Pete Bicknell is all business. He does well on the big tracks as well as the bull rings. A couple of lucky breaks could line up a stellar 96 for him. True small block drivers that should spark in 96 include the ever-dangerous and knowledgeable Tim Fuller, a former Mr. Dirt 358 champion in his Kinney Drugstores ride. Veteran Buzzy Ruderman, coming off several wins last year. Danny O'Brien could be a dark horse. As well as Jimmy Hauser. Let's see if his big Syracuse win will carry some momentum. And smooth 358 Fonda champ Tim Dwyer. Battle begins May 22nd in Middletown. This week on Dirt, we'll have all the highlights, so let the battle begin.
Great racing is coming up all around the dirt circuit, and here's Doug Elkins to tell you where.
Coming up on the dirt circuit, Monday, May 20th, Victoria Day extravaganza at the MERRITTVILLE Speedway. Tuesday, May 21st, the World of Outlaws roll to the Lernerville Speedway in Pennsylvania. Wednesday, May 22nd, the Skull Racing Super Dirt Series for the 358 Modifieds travels to the Orange County Fair Speedway. Friday, May 24th, a big day, Memorial Day Madness at the Black Rock Speedway. Ransomville hosts the BRP Indy 50 for the Dirt 358 Modifieds, and it's double points night at Accord Speedway. Saturday, May 25th, Memorial Weekend Special at the Lebanon Valley Speedway. Canandaigua Speedway on that night with the Dennis Taney Memorial 50. Sunday, May 26th, the 5th Annual Dirt Motorsports Hall of Fame 75-lap championship at the Keuka County Fair Speedway in Weedsport.
By the way, our good friends from Brioski will have a full display at the upcoming Skull 358 race at Middletown. Coming up, an early season review.
We'll put it to the floor and kick it sideways when we return.
MERRITTVILLE Speedway means live dirt modified action. The Niagara region rumbles with dirt track and thunder every Saturday night at MERRITTVILLE Speedway. It's non-stop dirt track and action as Canada's best battle America's top dirt superstars. Monday, it's a special event, a Victoria Day extravaganza with a full card and a gigantic fireworks display.
The fast track. They come screaming down the front stretch. This wall is not kind. Sideways at 100 miles an hour. Launch down the back stretch. And that's just one lap.
The Dirt Modifieds rumble this Sunday afternoon at Rolling Wheels Raceway. Plus sportsman cars and an Enduro. Race time 2 p.m.
I got my seat. How about you?
Direct to you, the sale of the century. At Colton Auto and RV, get the right deal right now. Over 150 new and used motorhomes, conversion vans, fifth wheels, and travel trailers, priced at rock bottom. Brand new motorhomes with roof air, awning, and microwave, only $29,995. New 21-foot well-equipped travel trailers, just $99.95. Direct to you, over 150 incredible values. Colton Auto and RV, Western New York's largest full-service van and RV center.
Race on into America's Hobby Time in Niagara Falls, New York, where you'll find hundreds of die-cast collectibles, including NASCAR, NHRA, and dirt models. Not looking for cars, you say? America's Hobby Time is an authorized Lionel dealer for the train enthusiast, and we carry a full line of Estes, rockets, and accessories. Plus, we always have plenty of extra bells and whistles for your planes, trains, and automobiles. America's Hobby Time, 2577 Military Road, Niagara Falls. Proud sponsor of car number 20 and the George County Racing Team.
A lull in the weekly action, thanks to the horrendous weather, gives us an opportunity to take a look at some of the early stories of the year on the dirt circuit. Here's Paul Small.
The most shocking news of the '96 year was the departure of 11-time Orange County Fair Speedway champion Brett Hearn. He's now moved on to race weekly at the Lebanon Valley Speedway. That brings us to the most controversial call of '96. Brett's debut was dampened by a legendary Valley name, a Corellis, but not Tommy. It was his son, Donnie. And he showed the Valley fans that the 57 car was still a presence. Now here's the controversy. Decker and Corellis are battling for the opening day feature event win at Lebanon Valley. Decker takes the lead off turn number 4, Corellis retaliates, and the two touch coming down the front stretch. Yellow flag then flies over the speedway, and officials penalize Corellis one spot and put Decker in the lead. Corellis refuses to drop back, and Decker's crew is told that Corellis is disqualified. Decker then makes no attempt to pass Corellis, who crosses the finish line first. But Decker thinks that he is the winner of the feature event, as does Corellis. The end result, the Dirt Appellate Board wound up giving the opening day win to both drivers, along with first place points and money in this feature fiasco. The hottest driver on dirt, Canadian Joe Plozek in the Plozek Auto Recyclers car number 1. He's been ripping up the tracks, posting 4 dirt victories. Looking at the rest of the top 6, Kenny Brightville, Mike Colston, Bobby Wilkins, AJ Slideways, Doug Hoffman have each scored a pair of wins.
Now, the weekend wars will return next week, and so will, weather permitting, the Wars Awards. Now, obviously, this week, we can't name a champion Spark Plugs Driver of the Week. The only real winner was Mother Nature. So on next week's show, we will award 2 Drivers of the Week, one for the Modifieds and one for the 358s. And both winners will then be eligible for the champion Spark Plugs Driver of the Year Award. Next week, we're going racing at 3 very different dirt tracks. For all of us on This Week on Dirt, Logan saying thank you for joining us, and so long for now.
Race Communications this week got provided by Racing Electronics. Call 1-800-272-7111 for your free catalog.
Robin Smokers Apparel, furnished by Bob Hilbert Sportswear. Suppliers of DIRT Motorsports officially licensed tees and apparel. Call 1-610-367-6186.
Let's face it, cars and trucks don't...
Low price of $199. It's the best bedding sale of the year.
Get that city mattress feeling every day. Give me Fox. When it comes to TV, give me what I want to see. Give me Fox.
Tonight's episode of This Week on Dirt is brought to you by Colton RV and by MERRITTVILLE Speedway.
A Speedway is spared from disaster while losing to the elements. The jet lands at Lebanon as AJ takes off at the fast track. We visit Dirt's version of The Rock. And we'll hear from a legendary rebel on Fast Forward. double fires, double rollovers, but you're not seeing double. It's This Week on Dirt.
Now, This Week on Dirt, coming straight at you.
Hello once again, everybody. Welcome to This Week on Dirt. My name is Doug Logan, and what a show we have for you this week. Near disasters all around, great racing and great stories, like the one at MERRITTVILLE Speedway in Thorold, Ontario. Now, this premier 358 modified track has yet to shake the bad weather blues in 1996, but considering what happened nearby last Monday night, race drivers and fans are counting their blessings. It's our main event. Here's Paul Small.
Fireworks would be the underlying theme of the Victoria Day extravaganza in MERRITTVILLE, and there was big news surrounding 10-time track champion Pete Bicknell. He herniated a disc in his back lifting equipment in the Bicknell shop back in December, and the injury is not healing.
Right now, the doctors say I can run the rest of the year, but I better just take it easy and don't do any heavy lifting or anything that I shouldn't be doing. Just take it easy, and hopefully we'll make it.
The 94 Mr. Dirt 358 champ is scaling back his activities to just weekend racing. The other big news at MERRITTVILLE, the track's ongoing battle with Mother Nature.
The frustration, it mounts and it's terrible. It really is. It's the worst thing. It's the worst thing to not have to get that first night over.
I'm a pretty cool guy, but I like to get my everything going on the racetrack, so it's been a long winter for me. I just can't wait to get out there.
Usually by this time we've had a month in the books. We had an opening scheduled for April 13th, and we didn't get our first event until May 18th. So we had 2 rainouts all of last year, so maybe we're getting a little payback this year. I hope it'll be good for the rest of the year, though.
Unfortunately, the weather decided to take a turn for the worse during this second race of the MERRITTVILLE Speedway season. And when this storm came in, it certainly packed quite a wallop. Remember last year when a microburst devastated the Can-Am Speedway? This storm was very similar, and the consequences could have been much, much worse.
Right up there, Ken? Yeah, a little bit.
MERRITTVILLE Speedway emerged undamaged from the storm, but less than a half-mile down the street, several mini tornadoes touched down, devastating a warehouse and several other buildings around the area. But fortunately, everybody returned home from the MERRITTVILLE Speedway safely. Once again, the weather has not been kind to the Niagara frontier. The complete Victoria Day card at the MERRITTVILLE Speedway has been rescheduled for Saturday, May 24th, including the 45-lapper for 358 modifieds.
Now, MERRITTVILLE was very lucky. Just 1 mile down the road, a drive-in movie screen collapsed during the storm. Ironically, the movie playing at the time of the collapse, you guessed it, Twister. Unbelievable. Coming up, I'll have the news. But first, here's our A-plus racing quiz.
How many dirt sanctioned tracks are in Canada?
In Canada, man. Oh boy, here we go. 6. There's 6. No, there's 5. 4. 3. There's more. 8. 7. 7.
The 7 tracks are Autodrome Granby, Drummond, Edelweiss, Cornwall, MERRITTVILLE, Gasport, and Brockville.
Which Canadian driver has the most dirt modified wins?
Big block or small block, it doesn't matter.
Canadian driver, the most dirt modified wins. Pete Bicknell.
Probably Davey Moore.
Pete Bicknell.
Mr. Small Block, Pete Bicknell has 152 dirt wins.
Who was the only Canadian to win a Mr. Dirt title in 1995?
Pat O'Brien.
Oh, okay, yeah. Pat.
Pat O'Brien won the Mr. Dirt 358 title in 1995.
Here's the battle for 4 once again. 2 laps to go.
This Week on Dirt is brought to you by Sunoco A-Plus Mini Markets, Faze Drugstores, Champion Spark Plugs, Racing Electronics, Professional Race Team Communications, Briosky, the official antacid of dirt, Bob Hilbert Sportswear, and by the Dirt Motorsports Hall of Fame and Classic Car Museum.
Are you looking for a really fun ride that'll last a long time? Then jump into a Chevy S-Series. It's one ride you don't want to miss. Chevy trucks, like a rock.
A-Plus Mini Market, your 24-hour ticket to convenience.
Now every 20-ounce, every 32-ounce, and every 44-ounce fountain drink is just 69 cents at participating A-Plus and A-Plus Express stores, where one price fits all.
Over 3,000 items. A-Plus Mini Market, 24-hour convenience, your store, plus more.
MERRITTVILLE Speedway means live dirt-modified action. The Niagara region rumbles with dirt track and thunder every Saturday night at MERRITTVILLE Speedway. It's non-stop dirt track and action as Canada's best battle America's top dirt superstars. This Saturday night, it's a full card, plus the Mod Stocks make their first appearance of the year. Race time is 7:30 at MERRITTVILLE.
If you're filling your prescription worrying about what you should take with what and when you should take it and how it will affect you, maybe you're going to the wrong place. So break out of there and come to Phase Drugs, where the pharmacy is our business. Our pharmacists are always there to answer questions on dosage, drug interaction, insurance, and more. And AccuFax lets you keep the Phase pharmacist's advice at your side night or day. It's a major breakthrough in making prescriptions easy.
This Week on Dirt continues. Now, Doug Logan with the news.
In the news this week, with Memorial Day upon us, we can mark the beginning of the extreme season on dirt. The summer calendar is chock full of weekend and weeknight racing for professional dirt drivers.
We're going to have 1 to 2 nights off a week from June to September. But we're spreading the work out among 3 crews. I mean, I got one crew for Brockville, I got the Quebec crew for Fridays and Saturdays, and then I have my own crew for the Skull races and Sundays here at Weed Sports.
Now, Steve Payne isn't the only one with little room left in his racing planner.
I can have a change of pace. We're going to run a 358 mod series, the whole deal. And then we're going to run the Big Black Skull series and Sunoco series. So, got some pretty hectic schedule for us this year, but we're looking forward to it.
Running both tours and their weekly tracks, these modified marathoners will run over 500 laps per week. The Dirt Modifieds will debut live on Sports Channel Thursday night, June 27th at 9 o'clock Eastern. Veteran drivers on the dirt circuit are taking the primetime national television exposure in stride.
We'd probably race if one person sat in them stands, you know, for the same reasons, but you forget about the crowd being there. You forget about TV, you know. The hardest part is after you win, getting interviewed by you.
Live 1-hour race series will run weekly on Sports Channel through the end of August. With last year's sale of Wheels discount auto supply stores, the Franklin Flyer, Billy Decker, now has prime advertising space available on his number 91 modified